Introducing a new change. Hey, we're coming up on the end of the new year. New year means a new season, means new time, new opportunity, chances to reinvent. All right? What are you doing to make that happen? And what does recreating yourself and reinventing yourself and reestablishing yourself look like when you're a leader, when you're a game changer, when you're somebody who really understands what it's about, what's going on? What can we do? How do we make this all work better? See, I'm really glad to have you here and welcome to our world. For those of you who know us, and again, we spend our time scaling companies, right? We exist to create opportunities for the future. We're in the middle of a reconstruction. We've been on this journey for a bit, right? Cindy and I are, we're world-class sales experts. That's what we do. We scale companies. We help legacy-minded professionals get out of their way, create sales systems, strategies, and teams so they can grow and leverage their business so they can do the things that they were called to do. Because you weren't here. You weren't put on this business. Very few people were put here for the sole purpose of chasing clients and optimizing your sales processes. You're here because you're trying to serve people. You're trying to build an empire. You're legacy builders, empire builders, movement makers, right? Change makers, things that are going on in the world that make a difference. Yeah, good. Let's go in that. Let's dive into that. And where is the opportunity for us to make something great happen? How much of this happens on accident? Right? Cindy and I moved from California just over a year ago, literally a year and 10 days ago, ish. And, we decided, well, if we're going to move from California to Tennessee, we could be the same people doing the same things, literally living the same lives, just living in a different place. Or we can recreate ourselves. How do we transform and become the people that we want to be? What is our goal? What is our plan? What are the actions we're going to put in place? How are we going to set ourselves up for ultimate success? And what is ultimate success? And who are we going to become to ensure that success happens? Who are we going to surround ourselves with to make sure that we can get all the things done, serve all the people that we know are coming, the people that we're serving now and the people that were coming? There's a lot going on here. And so we have been very intentional over this last year, restructuring our company. We have literally turned over entire divisions of our company, our marketing division, our operations, a lot of our sales, right? We have literally turned over. We have new clarity on where we're going. We've spent a ton of time, effort, energy, and resources in a rebrand process, right? We're changing the game. We rebranded. We got crystal clear on who our avatars are. Who do we serve? What are our values? What's our communication set and skill set? And you're going to see, I'm going to be sharing all this stuff with you as we're moving through 2022. We're going to be taking you on this journey. And today I'm going to highlight just like the key basics and components around this. And, just so that you understand what we're going to be talking about, what the conversations are going to be. And I want you thinking this way. We are going to bring you on this journey with us. So we're not waiting until it's done. We're going to start just sharing with you and introducing you to the concepts and the things that we're thinking, the things that we're doing, the changes that we're making, and really with a massive encouragement that you're also changing the same way. Okay. So, again, new operations team, whole new marketing team, new brand, legacy, but it's centered around this. This is the key. We've been in this game with this business for almost 8 years now. We've generated over $250 million of sales results for our clients through events, launches, campaigns, right? 25,000 sales conversations a year, right? A lot of great things going. But one thing that's been consistent is as we start talking to people, the more we engage people, every client, whether they're just approaching 6 figures or busting 7, 8, 9 figures and beyond, nobody is sales team ready. When people come to us, most people have this place where, your avatar might be dialed in, your prospect journey might be good, but not great. It's close. Your offer is good, but maybe it's not really well positioned to solve the problem, at least in its communication and its offering and how it shows up for people, right? And so because it's not perfect, it's not dialed in, it's not rocking and rolling, and then it requires you to be charisma, Captain Charisma. It requires you to be super charismatic, highly influential, massively persuasive. And when that is all put into the process, then it's hard to, the biggest limit on that is that it puts a ceiling on you, because now you can't scale beyond you. Your business can't grow beyond you because it requires your persuasion, your influence, your magic. And we want to get you out of that. We want to be able to replicate you. And most of the time what happens is, as you start growing into this, you're starting to build other parts of your company. You're starting to do more things. And you start thinking, well, I just need salespeople. And most people come to us and go, hey, yeah, we got these leads, we got this list, we got this thing going on, throw some salespeople at it. And it doesn't work like that, right? Because then you throw salespeople at a process and realize that, you know what? The offer is not really well dialed in. It doesn't actually match the prospect journey really well. The prospect journey is not as clear and dialed and tight as it could be. And the avatar is not as well refined as it needs to be. So then you have all of these close but not quite opportunities, and then you throw salespeople at it, and salespeople don't have the same level of influence, persuasiveness, and magic that you do. Not that the salesperson may have all of that magic, but not in your world, because they don't know where all the bodies are buried. They don't know where everything is. They don't know what's going on in your world, right? I know where every single thing is in this company. I've been here since day one. I have been here through hundreds of thousands of sales conversations. I have been here through hundreds of events, hundreds of campaigns, right? Hundreds of offers, the hundreds of salespeople. We know every single thing that's going on. So when somebody steps in here and starts to try to sell what we do, they don't know all of that. So if I don't have a systematized process, a really well thought out avatar, a really extremely dialed in prospect journey, and an offer that is set up and structured literally to deliver on that offer, on that prospect journey and that bleeding neck problem that people have when they come, then a salesperson can't sell all of that. They can only sell based on what they know. They don't know where all the bodies are buried. They don't know. They don't have the advantage. A salesperson coming in here doesn't have the advantage of being part of the hundreds of thousands of sales conversations we've had, the hundreds of meetings and strategy sessions and ebbs and flows that we've done, being part of all the events, knowing what all the different clients, knowing what customizations we've put in place, what the off-menu items are, right? You know where the off-menu items are. Somebody's talking to you. Right. I remember we used to go to Tony Roma's Ribs, which was, I don't even know, we're in Nashville now. I don't think they're out here. Actually, I know they stopped existing in certain parts of California when we were there, but it was one of my favorite restaurants for us to go out to. And I always, 100% of the time, got the same thing. I got the baby back ribs, right, with the shrimp, the grilled shrimp, which came on a bed of rice, right? And it was perfect setting for me. I loved it. It gave me everything I needed. I'm a meat and potatoes guy, right? The shrimp came on a bed of rice, so I got rice, and I had baked potato with butter and bacon only. I had a grilled shrimp with the St. Louis style ribs. And I got that every single time. Well, then one time we went to Tony Roma's and they took that off the menu, but it was popular. And apparently I wasn't the only other person. But they went through a rebrand of some sort. Somebody in some corporate office somewhere decided they weren't going to sell that anymore. But every time I went, I said, hey, can you still make it for me? And every single time they would make it, even though it was off menu item, because they knew they had, they still had the ingredients, and the cooks or the chefs still knew how to make it, and they wanted to make sure that they had a happy customer. So they still took care of it. Right? You have that in your business, right? We all have that. What's the off menu items where somebody says, yeah, but here's what I need. And you go, yeah, well, we don't really do that anymore, but I'll do that. I'll make that exception if that's what it's going to take to get you across the finish line. If that's what it'll take to get you to say yes. Well, your sales team doesn't know all of those things. Even if you sat down today and said, here's all the things the exceptions we can make. You're not going to list all of them. You're only going to list the ones that come to mind when you're listing it. You're not going to sit back. If I tried right now to look back over 8 years and thousands of conversations and scenarios, situations. I'm not going to remember every single thing that came up. I'll highlight the few that seem to matter right now. But if you and I were in a conversation and you needed something specific, I could say, hey, you know what? I can do that for you. Or, you know what? We tried that and it didn't work. I'm not going to do that for you. But a salesperson is not going to know that, right? So therefore, they're going to have a little less creativity and persuasiveness to be able to make something happen. Okay. These are just the reality of the situation. And so I want to make sure that you're thinking about that. But this is the journey that we have been on, right? So we are dialing this in. We're really getting crystal clear on the offers, crystal clear on the avatars, crystal clear on the prospect journey, so that everything that's happening, the goal is every step you take forward in our world, it gets you closer and closer to recognizing that this problem is real and is something you need to solve, and we're mastery at solving it. Right? Anything that's not part of that is just information. Right? And we're busy. All of us are busy just creating information and moving people. And we're not even sure if we're moving them in the right direction. We're not even sure that this page belongs here or this step should be converting to that next step. Right? These are the things that we are putting extraordinary amounts of time, effort, energy, and resources into solving. And we're solving it at a scale. Right? We've been solving it for this is nothing new to us. We've been solving this for all of our outsourced sales clients, our enrollment excellence clients, right? Our sales agency company. But now we've been putting it we're productizing it. We're literally building these systems so that we can start bringing people from the marketplace into this system that we're calling Sales Team Ready. And here's the objective. Instead of just throwing salespeople at a process and hoping for the best and getting frustrated when they don't deliver the same kind of results that you were delivering, that you think they should be delivering, instead of doing that, we want you to have the right conversations with the right people at the right time about the right things. Right? Sales Team Ready is about having the right conversations with the right people at the right time about the right things. When you are talking to when you're having the right conversation and you're having them with the right person and you're talking about the right thing and it's at the right time because you're leading this journey, people buy. Most of you are not having all of that at the same time. You typically, every conversation you're having usually has one, maybe two of those components. If you're lucky, three, and rarely, if ever, all four. And then you're trying to compromise. And that puts you in a situation where you're trying to put a square peg in a round hole. Or maybe it's a triangle and you're trying to put it into a square, right? But bottom line, it always takes a little bit of maneuvering and massaging to make this stuff go. And that is not how you win. That's how you're always working really hard. You're working twice as hard for half as much. And we want to make sure that is eliminated. And how that is eliminated is by getting you ready to be scalable. Is making sure that you do have an avatar with a bleeding neck problem that is clearly identified. That you're leading them on a prospect journey that is ideally suited for the person who has the bleeding neck problem. You're not trying to bring in people who are just sore or people who are thinking about it. You're bringing in the people who have that problem, because if somebody's got a bleeding neck problem, they need it solved now. They're not here to think about it and hope over time to figure out if there's a solution worthy of their investment. Right? You want to make sure that is all happening. And the metric of significance in our world is qualified booked appointments. Okay? We're talking to, a prospect right now has got a big list. We're negotiating a contract right now and they want to bring us in. They have a big list that they've purchased of leads, and they're good leads. They're well targeted leads, but they are foreign to them. Right? So we are now going to have to engage these people, introduce them to a concept, introduce them to our client, get them familiar to understand that these people are the ones that they need to be serving, and then bring them into our world. But they're, even though they're a good target, it's not a well qualified lead because they don't even know our client exists. Right? So it's not just do they fit the avatar, it's do they know you? Do they know you exist? Do you know that these people have the exact problem that you need? And do you clearly identify with what is the consequence of not solving it? And are they clear about it? Do they have consensus on their end that this is a problem that it's a problem that needs to be solved and that you're the person who can solve it. If they don't have consensus on all of that, then it's not a qualified booked appointment, right? It's still on a journey. And so we spent all of our time strategizing on that, systematizing that, putting that together so that we can get qualified booked appointments on autopilot. Then it eliminates the necessity for you to have influential badasses, persuasive powerhouse. Now, if you have those, fantastic, right? Now, I am that. I own that. I am a influential, charismatic, persuasive badass. But the problem is I lived on that for years, decades. I've sold stuff simply because I could spin magic, but I didn't have a really dialed in market, and my offer wasn't great, but I could overcome that because I could help people see the high side of the opportunity, help people see what's possible, help them see clearly that this is something they need to do and that this now is the time to do it. But that wasn't replicatable. I couldn't teach people to be me, couldn't teach people to think about the things that I was thinking, right? So we had to consistently refine and refine and refine, right? And that is the process. So then you start having the right conversations with the right people at the right time about the right things. You start leading to consistent, predictable, qualified booked appointments. And then you can put salespeople in place that can simply follow the system, follow the process, and enroll people predictably. Okay? This is the journey. Right? Then when that happens, now you have an adult business. You are now an adult business. You realize that of the 32 million entrepreneurs in America, that 22 million of them are solopreneurs. So if that's you, you're not alone. But the key is you got to start asking yourselves questions. Is this where you want to stay? Right? How old are you? How long have you been around? How much time? What's your time horizon? Right? I'm 52. I'll be 53 in a few months. I don't want to do what I'm doing until I'm 90. Right? I'm never going to retire because that's not me. I'm a problem solver. I'm an entrepreneur. You open up the dictionary to entrepreneur and there's a picture of me. Right? I live for this stuff. I love solving problems. I love creating. I love going, so I'll never get away from this. But I don't want to do this stuff because I have to. I want to do this out of choice and option. I want nothing but options in front of me. Right? Which requires that I replace myself, which requires that I grow, that's why we're growing our company to a place where we have systems, strategies, processes, and team that replicate us, that allow us to be very specific, narrowly focused on the things we're doing so that we don't have to be chief cook and bottle washer, as they say. I don't want you to be that either. I want you to be at a place where you can grow your business beyond you so that you have choices. If you want to work in your business until you're 112, fantastic, but I want it to be purely because you want to, never because you have to. And that's what we're trying to impact and affect here. Plus, the more you grow, I mean, again, our purpose statement here at Gain the Edge is we exist to create opportunities for the future. And that is for our clients, that is for their clients, it's for the people they serve. It is for our team as well. Right? I love being able to create more opportunities. The more we can grow beyond Jim and Cindy, the more we create opportunities for other people. Right? I want us to be able to employ people. Right? Do you know that 50% of the marketplace, up until recently, we have so much craziness going on in the politics of life in this country, and in many countries right now. But in pre-COVID, 50% of employees in America are employed by entrepreneurs. 50%. We're vital to the workforce. We're vital to the economy. We're vital to changing the world. We are extremely vital, right, towards leading people to take action and change their lives. This is what we do as entrepreneurs. We provide solutions at scale for people. We provide solutions that help people take action and change their lives, change the trajectory of their business, change the trajectory of their family tree. Right? That's what you're here for. You're not here to just do a business, to deliver a product. Right? You're here because you are solving a problem. You are doing something that matters to the people who need it. Whether you're doing it for 20 people a year or 20,000. Right? You have something that they need. Something that matters. What you do matters, and you deserve to be paid well for it. And it does not matter what industry you're in, what niche you're in, what specialty you deliver. I know people in every industry, every niche, every vertical that are earning at the high side, earning outsized revenues, outsized profits, right? And there are people who are earning at the entirely low end of the process as well. And I don't want that for you. There's no reason to, again, unless you choose to, unless you decide, I only want to live at this end of the spectrum. I only want to serve people for free. I only want to serve those who are less unfortunate, all of that. And if that's true, you're going to have to really convince me, because I have really not met many people who, after a conversation that starts with, yeah, I really don't want to make a big money. I know that the bigger my business gets, the more work it is and all of that stuff. And that's actually not true. As a solopreneur, you have a lot more stuff to do. The smaller your business is, the less resources you have, the less team you have, the less opportunity you have, the less solutions you can actually provide. The more revenue you have, the more choices you have, the more people you can pull in, the more solutions you can deliver, the better resources you can actually invest in, and you can deliver a better quality outcome. And if you exist to deliver, to do nonprofit work, to do ministry work, to do things that are changing people's lives and that who are less fortunate, then the number one thing you absolutely need is a profitable business, one that is running, one that is producing revenue at scale. You want to, again, I want you to have all the systems, tools, resources, and strategies to be able to do this stuff. And then you can decide that you don't want to, but not because you haven't made the choices, not because you haven't taken the responsibility to sharpen your skill sets, to bring on the right experts around you, to let your brain do the work instead of always doing it with your hands. Get other people's hands to do the work. Let your brain flow. Let your heart connect. Right? Let your intuition flow. Dive into strategy, systems, process. Right? And take a ride with us. Take a ride with me. Right? Here in the Make More Sales podcast, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We are going to be talking about this. This is the journey that we'll be on. Here's where we'll be changing the game for people. And I'm going to walk you through this journey. We're going to be sharing you what's going on. I'm going to share with you right now. We are literally in a pre-launch phase at this moment of our sales team ready mastermind. And I'm going to be infusing parts of that. We're going to be talking about as we're implementing with clients there, as we're implementing with our outsourced enrollment excellence clients, right? We're going to share with you the things that are working, the problems that our clients are having, which is why they need sales team ready. And it's like, this is the concept. We're going to be saying, here's the problem, here's what we're doing about it, and here's what the outcome is, or what the outcome we expect to be. So we'll be sharing case studies. We'll be sharing a lot of the challenges that you're experiencing, or the things that you might be afraid, the things that are keeping you from saying, yes, I want to blow my company up to the mountaintop. I want to blow the lid off of this thing and go. And for some of you, you're thinking, hell yes, that's exactly what I want. And for others of you, they're like, oh my God, I don't want that at all. It sounds terrifying. Well, we only are afraid of typically the things that we don't understand. And the more I share with you, the more you'll understand, the less afraid you'll be, because the more clarity you will have. And then you'll be able to say, yes, I'm ready to start growing my business so that I can be a sales team ready company, so that I can start serving my clients at scale, so that I can start delivering outsized results, and I can become the go-to player in my industry, the expert of my craft that people expect me to be and know me to be and count on me to become. Right? So stick around. Make sure you're part of this journey. Always check in on the show notes, depending on where you're at, what's going on. And we always have something happening. We have monthly workshops that we are always delivering, depending on what month it is, where you're at. We have, right this minute, if you happen to be catching this live and in this timing, we are helping people scale for next year. We're helping people put plans in place to intentionally have powerful next years. And most people don't. Most people stumble through the year. Most people hope to have success, and most people survive to the finish line. And that is just no way to live. I want you to have a powerful next year, and I want you to plan for success and then put a strategy in place to ensure the success. Set a great plan, right? Set a big goal. put a great plan in place and take off massive action to make it work. And that is what we do in our strategic planning, double your revenue workshops. And if you're around for that right now, if it happens to be the timing, check the dates. We'd love to have you there. And if not, then, we'll reach out to us because there's always something else going on. We do live workshops every single month to be able to help you get focused in on whether it's event focused, helping you put strategies in place to be able to reach people one to many, helping you fine tune your offers, helping you put goals, plans, and actions in place, right? Doing all the things that will help you become a mature, growing business that will grow beyond you. I thank you so much as always, for trusting me to be part of your success team. And I look forward to helping you make your cash register ring and really grow your business beyond you and start making changes in other people's lives that you know you're capable of. We'll talk soon.